singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. Do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronc and buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew I was out of luck the day.
Please take your seats. Our meeting is about to begin.
I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone, but that's not how it used to be. When the jester sang for the king and queen in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned. No verdict was returned. And while Lenin read a book on Marx, the quartet practiced in the park, and we sang dirges in the dark the day the music died. We were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Helter skelter in the summer swelter, the birds flew off with a fallout shelter. 8 miles high and falling fast. It landed foul on the grass. The players tried.
In 2023, the Code Council focused on the future by adapting, advancing, and exploring new ways to help our members. We've updated and introduced several initiatives to make your membership even more valuable in the years to come. The launch of the 2024 iCodes has begun, and the IPC and IMC are the first to be released. These new editions include the biggest change in the format of the iCodes in 25 years, improving both readability and sustainability. In print editions, scannable QR codes are placed at the beginning of any section that has undergone technical revision. Our NFC Tag pilot program will give members an easy and secure way to register new code books and comes with free access to Digital Codes Premium. The new ICC Premium Answers and ICC AI Navigator have been added to the Code Council's suite of innovative and easy-to-use digital solutions to help users be more efficient and access information faster. Harnessing the power of AI, ICC AI Navigator allows users to search multiple iCodes and versions at once. These two new code intelligence tools are available now on ICC Digital Codes Premium. Furthering the Code Council's commitment to evolve with the industry, our Off-Site Construction Summit in June brought together stakeholders for meaningful dialogue about regulatory consistency and off-site's potential to provide affordable housing. we saw wider adoption of the existing ICC MBI standards on offsite and are excited for the upcoming release of the standards covering energy and water conservation and tiny houses. This year, we helped Code Council members find and apply for available federal grants. Through our one-on-one consultations aimed at identifying opportunities and assisting with grant applications, we've helped secure over $20 million in grants this year. The Code Council expanded its commitment to professional development through several key initiatives in 2023. ICC Learn Live is a weekly series of online courses featuring a diverse set of topics spanning building safety. These courses allow building safety professionals to continue their education, stay up to date on the latest technologies and changes, and earn CEUs. We also introduced significant upgrades to our technical training program, allowing instructors to easily integrate Code Council-approved materials from the IRC into their curricula. As part of Safety 2.0, the Code Council partnered with ConstructReach and the Target Corporation to launch a series of I Built This events aimed at recruiting high school students in underrepresented communities into the building profession. Additionally, the Code Council, Building Officials Association of Georgia, Building Talent Foundation, and Simpson Strong-Tie teamed up to host the Educating the Youth to Build Our Future event in Marietta, Georgia, where college students participated in hands-on demonstrations and a mini job fair. This year marked the 5th anniversary of Pronto, our online proctoring platform. The numbers speak to its success. Over 97,000 exams have been proctored, and over 7,000 credentials a year are issued to candidates using Pronto. We continue to enhance this service, most notably offering access to digital codes within the exam program for open book exams. To make the certification process more convenient, the Code Council teamed with the International Association of Electrical Inspectors to create a joint certification program. With widespread recognition, certificate holders now have more freedom to move within the building safety industry, leading to increased job opportunities. Finally, we're continuing to expand our products and services globally. This year, we opened an office in Canberra, Australia to improve access to stakeholders in the region. The Code Council also received accreditation from the Standards Council of Canada, bolstering our presence there. And this year, ICC became a member of the TIC Council, an international association of testing, inspection, and certification organizations. As 2023 comes to a close, we set our sights on 2024, the 30th anniversary of the Code Council. Join us as we celebrate our legacy and continued leadership in building safety, technology, products, and services.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Irene Knott. I am the Director of Code Services for BR Architecture. On behalf of the host committee, welcome to St. Louis. We're so glad to have you here in our great city, home of the Gateway Arch and the St. Louis Cardinals. We also have a few claims of fame that you may not be aware of. Not only were we were the first U.S. city to host the Modern Olympics, but we were also the first city to introduce the ice cream cone at the St. Louis Fair in 1904. On that note, we hope you're ready to eat well this week. St. Louis is known to consume more barbecue sauce per capita than any other American city. I know you'll enjoy your stay in St. Louis as we gather to support the Code Council's mission of ensuring the health and safety and welfare of our communities. Thank you to our host chapter for their efforts to help prepare for this event. I'd also like to recognize the professional staff and management of the Code Council, without whom this conference would not be possible. Please turn your attention to the screens as we acknowledge the generous support provided by this year's sponsors. Thank you again to our 2023 sponsors. Now I ask you to please rise and remain standing. First, the colors will be presented by the St. Louis Fire Department Honor Guard. And now for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, you may be seated, but we would like to ask all active and retired military members and first responders to remain standing, as we'd like to take a moment to thank you for your service. You may be seated. And finally, one last time, please stand for the conference invocation to be led by Tom Peterson.
Our gracious Father, we thank Thee for the opportunity we have to be together as professionals and friends. We thank Thee for the work that has gone into the conference and pray that Thou bless those who so diligently worked to make this conference a success. We pray that those in attendance may become better for having been here. We pray that we will learn and grow, create new relationships that will strengthen us in our daily professions. Father, we thank Thee for all those who made it possible to be here. And we pray that Thou will be with those who we've left at home. Keep them safe, both family and staff, that they will be watched over and protected. Father, we thank Thee for the opportunity we have to be served by the men and women of our country's military and those public servants serving in our public safety. We pray that thou will be with them, keep them safe from harm or accident, and let them know that we support them. Father, at this time, we pray for those who are dealing with conflict or war in their countries or communities. We pray that thou will be with them, strengthen them, and we pray for a peaceful resolution quickly. In closing, we thank thee for the safety that we enjoyed as we traveled to this conference, and pray that as we return home, we will be granted continued safety and find all well there. We recognize thy hand in our blessings and pray for these things in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
You may be seated. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the President of the International Code Council's Board of Directors, Michael Witch.
Thank you, Irene. Good morning. I'm Michael Witch, Chief Building Safety and Development Officer for the South Central Planning and Development Commission of Houma, Louisiana, and President of your Board of Directors. On behalf of the International Code Council, welcome to the 2023 Annual Conference. Before we get started, I want to thank the Host Chapter Committee for all you've done to prepare for this week. Will the Host Chapter Committee please stand and be recognized? Irene, please step forward to accept this plaque on behalf of the Host Committee. To kick off the conference, we will begin by addressing our emergency evacuation plan. Will the crowd managers please come forward? In the unlikely event of an emergency, we want you to be prepared for a safe evacuation. Take a moment to locate the exit signs and the exit closest to you. This facility is equipped with an automatic fire alarm notification system. The audible alarm includes a visual strobe light for the hearing impaired. Should an alarm sound during the conference, please exit the building. Once outside, move away from the building and await further instructions. Our honorary crowd managers can be identified by bright yellow reflective vests. They are Dwayne Garris, Tim Jordan, Haroon Pandui, and Neville Pereira. Thanks to our volunteers for your assistance. This morning, we're privileged to have Kitty Ratcliffe, CEO of Explore St. Louis, here to welcome you. Good morning, Kitty.
Good morning, President Witch. Thank you for letting me be here. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you, President Witch. I also would like to thank Regional Director Tim Schmitz for inviting me to speak with you this morning, Jackie Klaus and your meetings and events team for working so well with our team to help produce this conference, and also Irene Knott and the host committee, and I don't know if she's in the audience, but Helen DeFate from the St. Louis chapter. So it takes a lot of people to put a conference like this on, and we're so delighted to have you here in St. Louis. I'm hoping you kicked off the conference really well at Ballpark Village last night. Did everybody have fun? We would have loved to have had some baseball for you, but unfortunately the St. Louis Cardinals didn't have such a great year this year. Fortunately, we do have Ballpark Village, and the venue is available year-round, so it's a great place to start your fun and activities. Just a few places that you might want to visit, three things if you have some time. I know that's not your purpose in being here today. Your purpose is to learn and be better at the craft that you do. But the Gateway Arch, which is the tallest man-made monument in the United States, taller than the Statue of Liberty or anything else you can think of, has an amazing museum. And if you've been in St. Louis before and been to that museum, say pre-2018, it's not the same museum. We spent $380 million gutting the museum and building a whole new one with a new entrance. And so it's a wonderful experience that tells the story of the westward expansion of our country. And I encourage you to do that. If you don't want to walk the few blocks and you don't have that much time, right next door is the National Blues Museum. Right next door to it is Sugar Fire Barbecue. So that's a quick and easy step out. And the third thing I would suggest, that if you have some time, and it's a little further afield downtown, kind of on the southwest edge of our downtown, is St. Louis Union Station, an amazing historic train station that's been converted to a hotel, but it is an entertainment center. It has one of those big, huge enclosed wheels that you have great views of the city. It's got an aquarium, and it's got some really fun restaurants and soccer-related things, because it's right across the street from the new MLS stadium. So many, many things for you to do. I happen to be a lover of both Irish whiskey and vegetarian food. That's an unusual combination. But if you are also a lover of Irish whiskey and vegetarian food, I recommend Small Batch for dinner tonight. It's just on the west edge of downtown. You know, we have a lot of conferences that are here in St. Louis and in America Center. And I know when our team secured this conference, we looked at it from an economic standpoint. What does that mean for our community? But in the last 2 years, it's become very evident to me about the work that you do. I am overseeing a big construction project at the back end of this building. We're adding a 72,000 square foot exhibit hall. We're adding 12 loading docks. We're adding a new lobby. We're adding an outdoor food garden. And I've worked with the architects and the engineers and all their subcontractors on code issues with our building department and all of the inspectors in our community. So I have great, great appreciation for the work that you do. We're very pleased that you've chosen St. Louis for this year's conference. I hope you have a wonderful time, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kitty. At this time, please turn your attention to the screen for a special message from Deanne Criswell, Administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
Hi. Thank you for offering me the opportunity to speak to you today as part of your annual business meeting this year. The International Code Council and its 64,000 members are integral to the continued development and adoption of building codes throughout our nation that help keep people safe through strong built environments. So far this year, we have been faced with hurricanes on both coasts, devastating wildfires throughout the West, tornadoes, inland flooding, and other natural disasters. Your work advancing building safety is critical to our resilience on an individual community level and as a nation. Since 2000, research shows that cities and counties with modern building codes have avoided at least $32 billion in losses from natural disasters. And by 2040, it is estimated that the savings could accumulate to more than $132 billion. By leveraging tools and resources like our building code strategy and our hazard mitigation grant programs, we are targeting investments that will enable communities to directly address their own threats from climate change. With historic levels of mitigation funding provided by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and the Inflation Reduction Act, Congress and the White House have made clear that mitigation activities like building codes are a national priority. Recognizing the importance of building codes and standards as part of the nation's climate strategy, the White House launched the National Initiative to Advance Building Codes to assure alignment of and minimum standards for building activities funded through federal agency programs. This national initiative promotes sustainable changes that are designed to protect communities regardless of social, economic, or regional challenges. FEMA is coordinating this effort through the Mitigation Framework Leadership Group and leading by example through implementation of the FEMA Building Code Strategy. This united effort aligns 15 federal agencies and counting to ensure the use of modern building codes and standards in all building activity that is funded through federal programs. We have made incredible progress, but there is more work to do. But we are not doing this work alone. We welcome further collaboration and discussion with and among partners like ICC to find and seize opportunities for advancing adoption of the latest building codes and further the hazard and climate resilience of all communities. Capturing the benefits from the adoption and effective implementation of current building codes requires federal investment, but more importantly, it requires buy-in from state, local, tribal, and territorial governments. So thank you. Thank you for all you are doing. Let's continue working toward our shared goal of keeping people safe by keeping our buildings strong. Our actions today will define our nation's resilience to disasters in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Criswell. Now we have a special presentation from Archistar to showcase their AI software. Archistar is an Australian company that is rapidly rolling out game-changing digital permitting and technology across Canada and the United States. We are happy to have Dr. Ben Khoury, founder and CEO of Archistar, here with us today to speak to you further about this. Welcome, Dr. Khoury.
Okay. So we're very excited to be here today, all the way from Australia. I'm sure you can tell from my accent. I'm an architect with a PhD in generative building design. As an architect designing a building, it's a mix of science and art, and I always loved the science part of it. What I loved about that was that there are rules that design buildings and that you have to apply, to make sure that your buildings are safe. And the International Code Council here, it's exactly that. What are the rules that you need to design a building? And what's really cool about generative design is if you can figure out what the rules are, then you can teach the computer how to design a building. What my philosophy here and what I was doing in all my research was understanding, can you train the computer with enough rules to generate designs that are compliant, but also creative enough so that they give ideas and concepts so that you can kickstart the process a lot faster. We solved this 5 years ago, and that technology is now available, generative design, for anyone to use. We then set our sights further. We said to ourselves, if we can design buildings to the rules using the computer, can we check designs against the rules? And we're very proud to now say that this is possible. We can now check a design before the applicant submits it to the city, and checking the completeness of the design and also the compliance of the design against specific rules and codes. Our goal is to improve the quality of the submissions before they get to the city. And this is super exciting because we hear all around the world this frustration, the back and forth between applicant and city. And quite often it's no one's fault. But if we can improve the quality of that submission up front using technology, using AI, we think it's going to go a long way to streamlining the process. So we're very excited to introduce our eCheck technology. We're proud to say that we're working with the City of Austin to bring this technology out to the US. And I'm going to show you a quick video up on the screen with the latest tech. And after this, we're in the expo hall, so feel free to come and say hi if you like what you see.
eCheck. a groundbreaking digital compliance platform that fast-tracks the building permit process from submission to approval. Here's how it works. An applicant submits their design on a simple drag-and-drop interface. eCheck's world-first technology runs their submission against local codes and regulations. The submission receives instantaneous feedback with pass or fail results. Applicants can then fine-tune and resubmit their designs to meet regulations. Cities can save up to 90% in processing time and tens of thousands of dollars per submission for both government and applicants.
City of Austin being one of the fastest growing cities in the nation. One of the things that we really want to achieve is faster processing times and more transparency in the process. This technology from Archistar is going to be a game changer in the work that we do. It would actually allow the staff to spend their time in the real important stuff that we see in the plans. It would actually provide a faster turnaround on the building permitting.
Instant assessment, faster approvals, and standardized reports. Increase housing supply in your city today with eCheck.
All right. I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker, and you're in for a treat. This year's speaker is Tamara Robertson, an accomplished engineer, Emmy-nominated producer, and star of the TV show Mythbusters. Tamara is going to share with us the power of embracing failure and how through the sharing of knowledge and experiences we can empower our industry as a whole. Please join me in welcoming Tamara Robertson.
Thank you.
From day one, biomolecular engineer Tamara has shown construction expertise and science savvy.
Science.
A born tinkerer, she played a key role in some of the most successful builds in the series. And her elite project management grit and determination saw her take out 2 MVPs. First for Needle in a Haystack, and then the myth of the vacuum cleaner climber.
Thanks, Kyle.
You're welcome. Good work today.
When I started this journey, I was just really hoping to make the girls in science proud, and I'm definitely going to carry this as a badge of honor this week because I think I'm doing it.
So most people know me as that Tamara Robertson from Mythbusters. But long before that, I became a chemical and biomolecular engineer and an OSHA-certified mold remediation specialist. So to start our journey today, though, this morning's talks are where your conference journey is starting, and I want to start the conference off right. I want to get to know all of you and help you as an audience gain some insights about each other with a quick flash poll. So let's do a little poll with a simple show of hands. Who in the audience has never been to a Code Council conference before? Okay, so you've got some new eyes on things, which is always good. Okay, so everyone else in the room, look, can you put those hands up one more time? Look at these hands, look at these faces, find these people in the crowd and fold them into your groups so that they can start to learn from all the experience you all have in the field. Okay, hands down. For the next part, if your hand goes up, keep it up. Who in the industry has been here for more than 5 years? More than 10 years? 20? Okay. So my less than 1 year folks, look around. Oh, hands back up. Look around. This is the wealth of knowledge that you are here to learn from and to meet. Now, hands down. I'm sure the 20 plus people are thinking, you left us out until the end and we're the majority of the room, but there's a reason. If you've been in the industry more than 20 years, I would actually like you now to stand up, please. It's a little exercise, right? You know, we're getting to know each other, keep the blood flowing. For those of you that are seated, look around. This is the knowledge and history of the building code profession. If you see these people at the bar later, buy them a drink, because I guarantee they have seen some things that you are gonna wanna hear about. So remember all of them. Okay, you guys can go ahead and sit back down. So back to the presentation. Again, most people know me from Mythbusters, but long before that, slides, please. I grew up in a little farming town with no stoplight, literally, that was next to a military base where my parents served and met each other on duty. Yeah, that's right, 2 military parents. My dad was a walk in the park compared to my mom. My dad was stationed in Quantico for most of my youth, which meant that he was only around every couple weekends a month if I was lucky. So when he was there, I was his little shadow. Now, you would think that was because I wanted to be there, but it turns out I was actually a little bit of a holy terror as a child. I really liked to take things apart, and my mom had no idea how to put them back together, which is great when it's like the dishwasher, right? So my punishment zone was with him outside tinkering in the shop, rebuilding cars, or helping him pull wiring through the walls of new homes that he was flipping, because it turns out tiny hands are the best tool that you can have in a shop. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was getting the best apprenticeship that I could get as a child at no cost. Now, fast forward, and you'd think you'd find me in trade school or engineering school, right? Well, actually, the big joke is that I got really lost on the way to graduation. I started out a history major, trying to follow that military pathway to a JAG career, but I did eventually end up as a chemical and biomolecular engineer. Can you? So through my sophomore year, I ended up with 5 minors because school was pretty boring, and so I was just finding something to entertain me. And so my math teacher actually took me aside and asked me why I wasn't in engineering. I, of course, laughed and said, girls don't do that. After all, the only engineer that I knew was Scotty from Star Trek. Turns out she was a female engineer, so she didn't take that very well. But she did still let me come up with the pre-engineering class to our local anniversary, or local alma mater, sorry, Go Pack. It's my anniversary of graduating, and the rest was history from there. Her redirection led me to my degree, a successful career as a chemical and biomolecular startup engineer, a patent, and working in more countries than I ever thought was going to be possible. Now, in 2015, though, after a decade in corporate America, setting up women in leadership programs and making my way to the C-suite, I realized there weren't enough women coming in the door behind me, so I left to go into full-time outreach, and that's when the Mythbusters franchise found me, having transitioned into consulting and to focus on getting more kids into the trades and STEM pathways. Now, on Mythbusters, we have a saying about failure. Can anyone remember it? Anyone? It's a pretty well-known saying when it comes to Mythbusters, but it's failure is always an option. We say this because the show is meant to teach critical thinking skills and iterative design to those that are new to STEM and the trades, and help them overcome that fear of failure so they get their hands dirty and they go out there and work. Now, we want children to embrace failure so that they can discover things for the first time. They can learn who they are, what they like, what they don't like, perhaps discover a path to what they will be one day. We want humans to embrace failure so that they give themselves grace in the moments that perhaps didn't go so well. They take the time to try again and discover a new possible route or answer. They evolve beyond where they've been and maintain hope for where they can go in the future, whether it's in life or in their jobs. We want our development teams to embrace efficiency and failure, right? We want them to push the envelopes of what's known in existence currently so that we can discover the next answer, the next product, the next thing that's going to revolutionize the world. So as a show host, I understand the importance of the slogan for fans and the audience. But as an infectious disease specialist, I understand that failure is always an option until it's not. I started my engineering career on a greenfield tech startup where we were tech transferring a global vaccines process from Germany to the US. I wore a lot of hats over the years, and I got known for quite a few things while I was developing our viral process, from banking seed vials all the way up through 6 5,000-liter bioreactors full of infectious cells. Having been with the team, I was the one that was always early. I was the one that my small stature and my experience in building houses meant you weren't going to actually pass that final facility walkthrough unless there was caulking beneath every single countertop. I was the one that was going to make sure that as a stickler for safety, you understand the hazmat precautions that we needed to go through, especially in the infectious suites. But perhaps my favorite thing that I was known for is that I take bad news better with cookies. I mean, who doesn't, really? My staff knew that if anything went wrong in the infectious suites, they should probably tell me about it by saying that they wanted to take a cookie break so I could get in the right mindset first. So fast forward to year 3 of long hours and startup mentality, and I finally reached that day-to-day manufacturing point where I'm like, you know what, maybe I can trust them. I can take a vacation, and they'll do their roles. You know, one of those no laptops, no cell phones, their problem kind of vacations. It was great, you know, sand, sun, silence, until I got back and found not 1 dozen, but 2 dozen cookies on my desk, along with a Cookie Monster shirt. So it turns out that the fun part of being in viral seed banking is that you work on stuff that, if it gets out, well, I guess we've all been through a pandemic at this point, we know what happens. So when a whole tray of viral seed stock gets shattered, it's never a good day for the plant. Lucky for us and the surrounding community, we have FDA-regulated GMP codes for biohazard sites. The way that we designed and build our biocontainment systems were previously put into place. So we knew that by going through the steps of qualification and validation, our containment systems worked and everyone was okay, both in and outside the plant. This is why what all of you do is so important, because for some of us in our careers, failure is not an option. Failure results in the cost of infrastructure, or worse, lives. It's why in engineering, before we graduate, we take an ethics oath and don on our drafting hand a reminder to always make the decisions that protect those that don't realize we do what we do day in and day out. After all, it's a lack of knowledge of our existence that shows that we've all done our jobs, right? It's where what all of you do as building code professionals matters the most. Because most people don't want to be the safety-focused person calling out someone for getting it wrong, or the one slowing things down by adding those safety steps. Not everyone wants to call out the mistakes or demand that the processes that add time and a lot of times cost to a project ensure the safety behind the scenes. Yet we still must design long-spanning bridges over bodies of water, homes in floodplains and fire zones, tall cities or tall buildings in windy cities, and large vehicles to transit people, while still ensuring that we have public safety. This is why at the end of the day, what all of you do is so important. You step out of your comfort zone to call those people out to ensure that no one ever knows you were there. After all, no one's going to report the accident that never happened. As for those working in the building safety profession, you may not always know the answer, especially those of you that have only been here for a year. This is your first time at a conference. And it's okay to not know everything. In fact, you should try to not be the person that's the smartest one in the room so that you're learning all of the time. But what's not okay is not admitting you need that help, not seeking out that mentor that can guide you. And that's what this conference is all about, is finding those people that can do that. Because we all have the responsibility to know our own weaknesses, to know where our blind spots are. And here you can learn from the stories about the moments that others maybe didn't notice their own, and they got the better of them in a project. See, to set the safety codes and standards for other industries, you have to first learn about that industry and the process that the people that are in it are doing every single day. You have to be able to admit when you don't know something and acknowledge that you don't know what you don't know. So there's so much room to grow, not just within your own professions, but as you're learning about these other professions. You have to be able to self-reflect on your limitations and biases, because that's going to limit your perspective of what it takes to do a job and thus limit what kind of code you're able to put in place. Maybe you don't even know that there's a safety risk that's there because you've never observed the process. Now, these moments here, when you're learning and you're asking those questions of others that have been in the field that can mentor you, are where you're gonna find the most growth. Because growth comes from training and events like those that you're having at ICC, as well as through mentorship. Now, would it surprise you if I told you that the human attention span is 8.25 seconds? They used to say we were equivalent to a goldfish, but you know what? They have us beat. Goldfish have a 9-second attention span. So 8.25, we're not doing too great. It isn't a wonder, though, because we have 21.5 billion connected devices worldwide right now. You know the average age for a college freshman, someone that's in school right now, to have started pinching and zooming on a smartphone was 7. Make sure you realize how fast technology goes, right? Now, that being said, human engagement is still possible because it's always greatest when you're listening or telling a story. So this week, instead of sticking to the old elevator pitch of this is what I do, this is where I do it, let's put some passion back in the work. Let's talk about the stories that defined the careers that you guys love. Let's talk about why you got into it to begin with. Let's reinvigorate the entire process by sharing those stories, both good and bad, because you can learn from both sides of it. So here in front of you is a giant flask that's going to represent this conference. This is the bubble that is this big, beautiful building where you all are going to be interacting this week. Now, I'm going to put you guys in the flask as well, because that wasn't pre-done. It's the fun part of chemistry. Some things evaporate too quickly to put in first. Okay. Now, I know interaction isn't easy for everyone. I get it. More people would rather be in the coffin than the person giving the eulogy, right? In fact, in college, we used to have a joke about it. Anyone heard the one about the extroverted engineer? Yeah, some of you have. So the story goes that the way that you can tell between an introverted and extroverted engineer is the introverted engineer is talking to you and staring at his own shoes. The extroverted is staring at yours. Yeah. So I'm going to task you all in this room, if you're the extroverted type, if you're not scared of anything, make an effort to go out there and strike up conversations. If you see someone alone, say hi to them. Be the creepy person that just walks up and is like, hi. It's totally okay. That's what this conference is about. For the introverts, I task you with keeping your phones down and your eyes up so that they know that you're open to it. I know we all are still working, right? You guys are investing the time to be here, but that doesn't mean the job back home stops. So if you have to work, take a minute, walk to a side wall, walk out of the room. But if you're open to it, keep the phones down. Make sure you can make those connections. Be ready to listen and develop a comfort level to also maybe share your own story. A better fact than the goldfish one is that 31% of job seekers will be able to gain a job through connections with their peers. So that investment of your time is going to be a beneficial one eventually. And if you set that intention to meet someone new this week, it's gonna happen. So discussing work with new people can really give you a unique perspective. It's gonna enhance your own motivations, enable new creative ways of thinking, and you're gonna be able to bounce ideas with people that maybe aren't in the exact same sector that you're in, but it's close by. Now, surrounding you in this room, we saw how much experience there is. In this room and at work, you can find the mentors that you need that are gonna give you that plethora of knowledge, historical, skilled individuals that can be peer mentors, stepwise mentors, and your mentees. Now, having a mentor that you can share those stories with strengthens you both in moments where you might be unsure or you don't really know who could guide you. They'll be able to answer the questions, share the skills, be that sage wisdom, and sometimes even give you the strength to be the one that stops the project due to code violations and the need to protect the community. People come to these events to connect, and that is what this week is all about, is connecting. So you're going to be connecting with those that are in the industry that are new, those that are in the industry that are experienced, those that have seen disasters, those that have prevented them. This is all those people. See how dark it got? There's a lot of people here. So you're going to connect every way that you can. And connecting, again, starts with a simple hello or a wave. You know, whatever's easiest for you. You want to do a pound it, that's cool. People don't like to touch these days. Totally okay. But even if that one doesn't lead to a discussion, I'm a green thumb. Even if that one doesn't lead to a discussion, that's fine. It's a numbers game. Keep it up. Try the next person. Keep on going. High five it down the line. Now, as you all are brainstorming to think through the next steps for the building safety community this week, remember your willingness to share your viewpoints is what enables new ideas to be created. I'll remind the experienced people, you guys used to be those young guns that thought you knew everything, right? And you did have value to share, but it was a fraction of the wisdom you have now. So regardless if you're working with returning talent from a Reskills program, a returnship program, or brand new talent from an internship or an apprenticeship, make sure that you're helping them figure out that pathways of knowledge. Because sharing it is no longer unidirectional. You're gonna gain as much from talking to the young guns as they're gonna gain from you. Because what this new generation lacks in experience, they make up for with a wealth of knowledge of new evolving tech. Anyone that's involved in the casting and metal die industry can tell you the benefit that having 3D printing brought in as an idea by an intern made for that industry. They were able to cut dies faster. They weren't putting metal to work all the time. They were able to save so much money just by starting to 3D print. So we can all engage our ears and our mouths this week, and we can move forward together. So by adding ideas, both new and old, we're gonna be able to actually start mixing and shaking it up this week. Slide, please. Now, my grandpa used to say, they can take your job, they can take your money, but they can't take your skills. And it's one thing that has led me to make sure that no matter where I am and what I'm doing, I'm adding more skills to the tool belt. So we all know that time is money. Each of you has made an investment to yourself, to your business, to your career by being here this week. So let's make sure we all make the most of it. Share not just stories, but talk about the skills you've acquired during your career that have been invaluable to what you do. You get bonus points if they're ICC courses. They didn't pay me to say that. But let's ensure that this week isn't just about building a pipeline of new talent by sharing those stories and guaranteeing that the legacy here is not a knowledge vacuum, but instead is one of shifting those skills forward. The collective knowledge and experience that is in this room, that all of you have worked individually to build over the years, has such great value. And without that knowledge being passed down, without that next torch being lit, much more than experiences are at risk of being lost. So this is the time to share the stories that led to learning the hard way, as well as sharing the developments that made it so that you had success. Success like a singular home still standing after a large windstorm or fire. We all saw the media coverage. That one house that was up to code was still standing in Hawaii. So just as you ask your communities to prepare for storms, let's prepare the next generation of building safety professionals to be able to handle whatever they may face. And with that, I give you the final ingredient for success this week. The knowledge that all of you are going to be sharing. And so from this day forward, that's going to continue doing this, exothermic, it's real fun. You all are part of my pack. So the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. So this is my contact information. If you all need anything, you have questions, feel free to reach out. I am always available to all of you. And now maybe show the film again. Those vows are gone. Do you want me to stand with it or get out?
Thank you, Tamara. That was great. And it stayed on the little thing there, so that's good. I don't have to get new shoes. I'd also like to thank all the speakers we had today. This concludes our opening ceremonies. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back for the business meeting. Thank you.
Change had much to say, but man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. Told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town, the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town. You know that chick that used to dance a lot? Every night she'd be on the floor shaking what she'd got. Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. I mean, she was steaming. And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't wanna know, forget her. The boys are back in town, the boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town, the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town.
Friends and colleagues, please take your seats. Our meeting will begin in 5 minutes.
Sometimes I wonder if it will ever end. You get so mad at me when I go out with my friends. Sometimes you're crazy, then you wonder why. I'm such a baby, yeah, the dolphins make me cry. But there's nothing I can do. I only wanna be with you. You can call me a fool. I only wanna be with you. Yeah, I'm tangled up in blue. I only wanna be with you. I only wanna be with you. I only wanna be with you. I only wanna be with you.
Have mercy, baby, on a poor girl like me. You know I'm falling, falling, falling at your feet. I'm tingling right from my head to my toes. So help me, help me, help me make the feeling go. 'Cause when the loving starts and the lights go down, and there's not another living soul around, you woo me until the sun comes up, and you say that you love me. Have pity, baby, just when I thought it was over. And now you got me running, running, running for cover. I'm begging you for a little sympathy. And if you use me again, it'll be the end of me. 'Cause when the loving starts and the lights go down, and there's not another living soul around, you woo me until the sun comes up, and you say that you love me. Baby, baby, hope you're gonna stay away.
Please take your seats. Our meeting is about to begin.
Guess I'm not as strong as I used to be. And if you use me again, it'll be the end of me. 'Cause when the loving starts and the lights go down, there's not another living soul around. You woo me until the sun comes up, those who start to mold a new reality, closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
I don't know who picked the soundtrack, but it's kind of appropriate for today, I think. I hereby call the 2023 Annual Business Meeting of the International Code Council to order. The notice of the 2023 Annual Business Meeting is posted on the Code Council website. At this time, I will entertain a motion to waive the reading of the notice. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Secretary-Treasurer David Spencer, please come to the podium to determine if we have a quorum.
To determine a quorum, would the governmental member voting representatives who are present please stand? Based on the observation of those standing and present, we have a quorum of at least 100 governmental member voting representatives. Mr. President.
It is now my privilege to introduce your board of directors. Board members, please stand and remain standing when I call your name. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all board members have been introduced. Vice President Stuart Tom, Secretary-Treasurer David Spencer, Immediate Past President Cindy Davis, Directors Jack Applegate, Alan Boswell, Mike Boso, Benjamin Bredmore, Chris Bridges, Shirley Ellis, Ron Hampton, Steve McDaniel, Randy Metz, Tom Peterson, Jose Ruig, Jim Sayers, Michael Savage, and Angie Wiese. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022-2023 Code Council Board of Directors. As may be required to conduct the business of this association, I am appointing Donnie Phipps as Sergeant at Arms. As parliamentarian, I am appointing Sergio Escuntz. Would our parliamentarian and Sergeant at Arms please stand and be recognized? Sergio, Donnie, thank you for your service. The next order of business is approval of the minutes from the 2022 Annual Business Meeting. Are there any modifications to the minutes? Hearing none, may I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. The minutes are approved. The next order of business is the Treasurer's report.
As your Secretary and Treasurer, I am happy to report the financial health of the International Code Council remains strong. As we continue to find opportunities for growth and expansion, our ability to provide innovative tools and resources to our members improves. The success of the Code Council can be attributed to effective financial management, a commitment to long-term strategic planning, a careful crafted diversification strategy, and a proficiency in leveraging the advantages of technology. In recent years, the financial performance of the Code Council has consistently surpassed expectations, and this year is no exception. We anticipate the revenue from the sales of goods and services to once again surpass our budget and revenue operating profits in 2023. This continued financial success has allowed us to enhance and expand member benefits, build upon our cash reserves, and update and improve our 2024 code development process. One of our key financial strategies, diversification, helps to spread risk, reduce volatility, and create sustainability and predictability. This year, after a process of due diligence, the board approved the acquisition of American Legal Publishing. This acquisition has helped significantly expand our codification support services and help jurisdictions effectively create and maintain their code of ordinances. We have also expanded our services to members by increasing the depth of our codes and standards resources on our digital codes platform. This year, we continue to explore the future of safe and innovative products through collaborations with industry organizations on a global scale. We established a regional office in the Oceania region to improve global access to our family of solutions and resources. And we consistently prioritize the importance of building safety in our communities and actively encourage the adoption and enforcement of modern building codes and standards worldwide. At the core of every decision is our mission to provide the information, tools, and resources that members rely on and that ensure the construction of safe, affordable, and sustainable buildings and communities. There will always be challenges ahead, but through it all, we are guided by our 2025 strategic plan. We maintain a strong financial position, ensuring stability for our members, employees, and key stakeholders. Thank you. It has been an honor serving as your Secretary and Treasurer.
Thank you, Secretary Treasurer Spencer. May I have a motion to accept the Treasurer's report? Is there a second? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Secretary Treasurer Spencer, for your service. The next order of business is the President's report. This past year, we have made great strides in advancing the mission of the Code Council. A core element of our work is developing modern, technologically advanced codes and standards. As you'll hear in a moment in Dominic's CEO's report, we've updated our code development process to improve the quality of code content by creating a more in-depth vetting of code change proposals. Furthering our commitment toward continued improvement, we are also bringing you the 2024 International Codes in a new style and format to help improve the user experience. As part of our digital transformation, the new style will include QR codes to help identify code changes more accurately, as well as a variety of formatting changes. These changes were introduced through the 2024 International Plumbing Code and International Mechanical Code and will be implemented in all forthcoming codes. The Code Council continues to make significant strides in supporting the built environment and in finding new ways to best serve our members. Our association has long welcomed participation by anyone who shares a common interest in building codes. Last year, the board established an ad hoc member committee to explore ways we can ensure a diverse and inclusive community of all backgrounds. This year, we worked on an updated DEI statement, developed a survey of our members, and increased the visibility of our diverse industry through pictures and stories to the industry and the public. We also continue to welcome all your participation through our Codes and Standards committees. In addition, we are continuing to expand our Safety 2.0 initiative to welcome the next generation of building safety leaders. In partnership with our chapters and key stakeholders, we have participated in numerous events to help introduce young people to the code and construction fields. At an event held by the Building Talent Foundation, an organization with which we became partners last year, we had the opportunity to introduce Safety 2.0 resources to college students and discuss with them the benefits of entering our industry. We also had the opportunity to participate in an event held by ConstructReach, a company dedicated to diversifying the construction industry, to introduce high school students in underrepresented communities to construction. At this event, we introduced building codes and building safety careers to over 400 high school students throughout Georgia. We will continue to collaborate with ConstructReach to attend similar events later this year. Also, I'm excited to announce that an expanded Safety 2.0 mentorship program is being launched in the next year as well as new career resources for our members. Stay tuned for these and other developments in the months to come. Also new this year is the Reimagined Building Safety Leadership Experience. We have 10 participants in the program here in St. Louis. These individuals will have a guided experience at the annual conference with unique access to our board, chapter, and member leaders to learn more about the Code Council family and the many professional development opportunities available. I'm encouraged to share that we had many inspiring applicants for the program this year. We have some of the best and brightest minds helping to serve and solve the building safety challenges of today. Will our leadership participants please stand? Please join me in welcoming this year's class of leaders. Thank you. If you're interested in learning more about the Building Safety Leadership Experience or any of our other scholarship programs, please visit our website. As the global landscape continues to evolve, the Code Council recognizes the importance of expanding our reach, forging new partnerships, and embracing emerging technologies. And with this in mind, we've made tremendous strides in global expansion by fostering collaboration on an international level. Since its establishment in 2020, the Code Council's Middle East and North Africa office has made significant progress in expanding resources to support the built environment in the region. Through workshops and facilitating dialogue about common challenges, we have worked with MENA stakeholders, taking an active role in ensuring the safety of new and existing buildings in the region. Our presence in the MENA region has led to a higher profile for our conformity assessment solutions in key world markets. This year, we enhanced our collaboration with the Dubai Municipality and the Saudi Building Code National Committee by signing a memorandum of understanding with both organizations, aiming to optimize regional access to our building safety solutions. On that same note, this year we worked with the Pakistan Engineering Council to assist in the development of the Green Building Code of Pakistan, which is the second building code to be created by the PEC based on our international codes. This past May, the Code Council joined the TIC Council. The TIC Council is a global organization that engages governments to advocate for solutions that protect the public, support innovation, and facilitate trade. Through our involvement, the Code Council family of solutions will collaborate with other organizations to promote best practices in safety, quality, health, ethics, and sustainability. We also established a second overseas office in Oceania, based in Canberra, Australia, to help broaden awareness, understanding of, and access to the Code Council's family of solutions in Australia and New Zealand. Finally, I'm proud to share that the Code Council has become the latest standards development organization to receive accreditation from the Standards Council of Canada. This accreditation further establishes our presence in Canada and allows us the opportunity to help with the development of the national standards of Canada. Our commitment to expanding our global presence stems from our desire to provide support and assistance to communities across the globe. This year, I had the privilege to attend several international trips with the Code Council to collaborate and share knowledge with building safety professionals from different countries. While I was in the MENA region, we hosted a workshop in Dubai to discuss the importance of embracing change through new sustainable building systems. This workshop provided us with the platform that brought the whole industry together, from regulators and manufacturers to standards developers and academia. Bringing industry stakeholders together is fundamental to the work that the Code Council has always done, and it was great to see these efforts extend to the MENA region. Through our international collaboration, it became apparent that no matter where we are in the world, we all have the same mission: building safety. In closing, I'd like to remind all of you that each idea, every voice, and all of our collective efforts play a crucial role in shaping the industry we leave behind for generations to come. I encourage you to continue collaborating with each other and our Code Council family of solutions to create safe, affordable, and sustainable buildings and communities across the globe. Empowered by your engagement and dedication, we will continue to advance along the path of success. Thank you. Is there a motion to accept the President's report? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Our next order of business is the CEO report. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Chief Executive Officer, Dominic Sims.
Thank you, President Which, for your incredible leadership as Code Council President this year. I do want to sort of go off script a little bit. I got to tell you, I've worked with a lot of presidents. Each one of them had their own unique skills and talents. And Mike, I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting the job done. Thank you, Mike. Through President Which's leadership, we were able to improve our industry relationships and member engagement, enhance our long-term code development process, expand the scope of our energy policy, and set the stage for enhanced financial diversification and for the transition to new leadership. And with that, I'd like to say good morning to everyone and welcome to St. Louis. It's so nice to reconnect with everyone and come together as building safety professionals. I hope that while you're here, you'll have a chance to explore some of what St. Louis has to offer, including the iconic Arch. St. Louis is also known for its blues. Everywhere you look in St. Louis, you'll find venues where you can enjoy live blues music, even a blues museum nearby. And if you're sticking around for our Connections Gala on Tuesday evening, you'll be treated to some live local music by Calvin Dobbins and the River Roosters. But now let's talk a little bit about business of the Code Council and our important building safety mission. I'd like to take a moment to thank our gracious host chapter, the Missouri Association of Building and Fire Officials. Please join me in a round of applause to once again thank them for their hard work. I know you know, the work of building safety professionals is never done. What you do every day to mitigate risk and improve the safety and sustainability of the built environment really, really matters. You save lives, you reduce injuries, you ensure that buildings are strong, safe, and sanitary. And you do all this while faced with significant challenges. Some of the challenges are universal, such as aging infrastructure and housing affordability. And some challenges are geographical, like earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. But no matter where you are, building safety professionals are adapting to change and finding innovative ways to do their jobs. And the Code Council is here to help. We provide support and bring together a thriving community of building safety professionals from all backgrounds, including building code officials, fire officials, builders, designers, manufacturers, all those with a stake in the building in the building safety environment. We have stood ready to help professionals develop programs to further advance your careers. And we're here to help leverage the latest digital technology and tools to bring you faster and more reliable services. You are responsible for the public's health and safety, and we thank you for what you do to give us the opportunity to make the world a safer place. As we approach our 30th anniversary next year, it's important to take a moment to acknowledge the legacy organizations and those who have provided a foundation for the ICC. So today, I would like to ask any board member from ICBO, BOCA, SBCCI, or a prior ICC Board of Directors to please stand up and let us recognize you. That's you, Jay Albatar. You know, these are the folks who have done all the hard work, all the work that it took to get ICC to where we're at today. Thank you. Now please turn your attention behind me for a sneak peek of the year ahead as the Code Council begins to celebrate 30 years in existence.
We're gathered here today to mark the creation of the International Code Council.
The I-Codes bring together the best provisions for safety, security, economic viability, and for the protection of citizens of our communities.
We stand ready to create consistent, performance-based regulations that satisfy government, industry, and public needs.
ICC didn't just go in and say, hey, adopt our model codes and good luck. We said, we are going to be your partner.
We asked the industry, what other services and products do you need to support your building safety efforts?
Oh, that gave me chills. Not only do we have to celebrate our history, but we must also build our future. I would like to welcome our newest ICC chapters. First of all, I'd like to recognize the Alamo chapter, the Mid-Iowa Construction Code Council, the Northeast Subchapter Building Officials of Mississippi, the Eastern Iowa Construction Code Council, and WICIT of Texas. Congratulations. With these 5 additional chapters, we now have a total of 405 chapters worldwide. 2023 has been a year of growth and adaptation for the Code Council. Now I want to share with you some updates as well as our plans for continued momentum forward. First, I hope you have noticed some new additions to our digital products and offerings. The Code Council heard you and made a big commitment to improving our digital products and services. General Code and American Legal Publishing have continued to thrive as a leading provider of innovative digital technologies in municipal codification, serving over 8,000 clients across the U.S. Community Development Services has reintroduced its Municity software with a new look and enhanced mobile device functionality. We have launched a new AI Navigator on Digital Codes Premium, and this new software platform serves as a real-time solution to address code-related questions, ultimately enhancing the application of the ICC's codes and standards. please stop by the ICC Resource Center today to see if you could stump the bot. I did. Everyone who participates will win a prize on the spot and learn about the great new intelligence features of Digital Codes Premium. Speaking of new developments, we recently launched a new tool, Digital Codes for Exams, which seamlessly integrates ICC's digital codes and standards directly into the exam process. This innovative feature will make taking Code Council certifications more convenient for those looking to further their careers in the building safety industry. ICC Credentials have also launched 4 new educational videos this year. And these videos are designed to help candidates understand what to do before, during, and after the exam, and how to renew your ICC certification. This year marks the 5th anniversary of the launch of Pronto Testing, our Pronto Testing platform. In that time, we've delivered nearly 100,000 exams. I'd like to take a moment now to acknowledge all those who have bolstered their careers through obtaining Code Council certification. And I would like to congratulate those 57 individuals who have become Master Code Professionals this year. The Master Code Professional designation is the highest level of ICC certification and is the gold standard for demonstrating proficiency in the building safety profession. I specifically want to call out Michael Gauger, who I hope is with us today. Michael, are you here? Look at this guy. And I'm not calling him out because he's from Palm Beach County, which I spent a little time there, but Michael did an amazing thing that I learned about during a chapter meeting. He earned his MCP exam in about 6 months. And Michael, congratulations. That's an enormous commitment and achievement. And I think you're a role model for all of us. Thank you. Congratulations. This high volume of certification testing has provided us with many opportunities to collect feedback and make refinements along the way. I encourage you to be part of the conversation around how to continue to improve our exam platform. You can speak with our credentialing staff at the Code Council booth on the expo floor, or you can attend the ICC Fundamental Insights later today. Our credentialing staff will be there to speak about recent improvements as well as engage in a dialogue about your experience and your comments relative to Pronto. The session that takes place today at 11:30 in room 232. With your participation, we can continue to provide member benefits that assist with your workload and help you to adapt to a rapidly changing industry. Now in a few moments, I'm gonna introduce Russ Manning, who some of you may have met last year. Russ is our newer Vice President of Technical Services. And Russ has been helping us implement our new code development process and preparing for its use next year. These changes will impact the development of the 2027 I-Code, which will begin soon. I'd like to invite Russ Manning to the stage to tell us a little bit about the new code development process. Russ?
Thanks, Dominic. The Code Council has 3 primary development tools in our toolbox to help ensure effective solutions for the safety of the built environment. That includes the code development process, the standards development process, and the guideline development process. To help increase the understanding of the Code Council's suite of codes, standards, and guidelines, we've developed what we're calling the ICC periodic table. You can download this on our website at iccsafe.org on the Codes and Standards webpage. We also have copies that are available at the registration desk. The technical services team has been busy getting ready for the 2024 through 2026 code cycle. I think it's fair to say that without the dedication and commitment of the over 400 people who volunteer to be part of our committees that keep the iCodes updated, this would not be possible. So I want to say thank you to all of you who participate in that. I thank you for sharing your time and your expertise to help make the codes the best building safety codes globally. As Dominic mentioned, there are changes coming to the code development process. The biggest change to our code development process is the addition of a second committee action hearing to both Groups A and Group B. This consolidates the public comment hearings and the online government consensus voting for Groups A and Group B into the third year, which will be 2026. This is based on the feedback from our members, the long-term Code Development Committee recommendations, and the Code Council's commitment to continuous process improvement. We're also happy to announce that the Code Council has received accreditation from the Standards Council of Canada for our standards development. This enables the Code Council to now get Canadian accreditation for our standards when it makes sense to do so, along with our ANSI accreditation. This emphasizes our commitment to the international community, and it provides opportunities to establish standardized solutions for the built environment in both the US and Canada. As always, I encourage you to join us in developing the best safety codes, standards, and guidelines for the built environment through participation in the ongoing meetings for these respective committees. You can learn more about the changes in our insight session today, which discusses the 24 through 26 code cycle development, and that begins at 11:30 today in room 240. I want to thank you, and I look forward to seeing you at the first committee action hearing in 2024 in April in Orlando, Florida.
I want to thank Russ, and as the code geeks in the room know, his predecessor always made it look pretty easy, but it isn't. There's a lot that goes into it, and Russ has been a really quick learner. I also want to thank the Board of Directors for working through this methodically to change our code development process and update it for the future. As Russ mentioned earlier, an important part of the code development process is the participation of all of you through your commitment and your work with your communities, committees, and the Code Council. Your insights and experience have helped shape the iCodes and standards. And now I'd like to talk a little bit about a successful initiative that's been underway for a couple of years called our ICC Centers of Focus. It's comprised of two teams, the PMG Center of Focus and Sustainability, and the Sustainability, Resiliency, and Innovation Center of Focus. These teams that are here for you, consisting of individuals from across the Code Council family of solutions, are charged with solidifying our position as a global thought leader in PMG, off-site construction, and energy. There are many opportunities for the Code Council and its members to make a positive difference in these areas. That's why I've asked the leaders of the ICC Centers of Focus to share what we've been doing over the past several years. As the world continues to grapple with water scarcity and water safety issues, our PMG technical team continues to provide guidance and support to building safety professionals around the world. We are helping to prepare municipalities for the usage of alternative fuel sources such as hydrogen. The PMG team has also been involved in the development of the International Water Conservation Code Provisions document. This is a new document that contains the water conservation and hot water energy saving requirements from the iCodes for both residential and commercial occupancies. These documents also include some of our standards as additional resources, such as ICC 700, Standard for the National Green Building Guideline, and ResNet ICC 850, Standard for Water Use Performance of 1- and 2-family dwellings. The International Water Conservation Code Provisions document is now published and available here at our ICC Resource Center. To share more about our accomplishments this year, I would like to introduce Matt Ziegler, Executive Director of our PMG program. Matt.
Thank you, Dominic. The Code Council is a leading provider of technical resources and world-class training programs to support the adoption of PMG codes and standards. ICC's PMG technical team is helping to bring new products and services to the market based on your needs. This year, we have continued our work on development of 2 new plumbing standards. ICC 815, which is the standard for sizing water distribution, sanitary drainage, and vent piping systems, and ICC 825, which is a standard for on-site wastewater treatment systems. In fact, we recently attended the International CIB Water Supply and Drainage Symposium in Belgium to discuss both standards with plumbing design experts, leading researchers, and academia. These discussions aim to advance the development and future adoption of both standards and seek opportunities to participate in global PMG initiatives. It has been almost a year since we formed 2 PMG-led working groups for hydrogen gas and water reuse. The hydrogen working group's focus is the development of requirements for blending hydrogen and natural gas that will ensure the safe use of hydrogen in the built environment. As Dominic mentioned, this group is laying the groundwork for us to help prepare municipalities for the use of alternative fuel sources such as hydrogen. Tied to our current efforts in addressing gaps regarding hydrogen gas in the I-codes, the Code Council recently became a member of the Center of Hydrogen Safety, a global nonprofit dedicated to promoting hydrogen safety and best practices worldwide. By working with this association, we plan to develop additional resources for hydrogen gas usage in the built environment. The Water Reuse Working Group, on the other hand, has been focused on establishing risk-based water reuse requirements that protect public health. This group also promotes the awareness of the 2022 update of our joint rainwater harvesting standard with the CSA group, which has recently been adopted in Pakistan. In 2023, we reached hundreds of code officials, contractors, and skilled tradespeople at our Four Corners events held throughout the United States. These events have introduced a whole new audience to the Code Council family of solutions, and we plan to continue this campaign for years to come. And finally, I would like to end by sharing about the recent release of the 2024 International Plumbing Code and 2024